Hello everyone, in this part of the lesson we are going to study about the nerve impulse, how it is generated and how it is conducted. We all know that when a neuron is stimulated, impulses are sent along the neuron. These impulses are called as the action potentials, which is the electric current that travels the length of an axon. Nerve impulse is conducted along the axon membrane in the form of a wave of depolarization and repolarization. So, in this part of the lesson, we will study that how the plasma membrane gets depolarized and how it gets repolarized during the conduction of nerve impulse. So, before we start with the topic, let us try to revise the structure of plasma membrane. This slide is showing you the pictorial representation of plasma membrane structure. Here you can notice that there are certain structures which have been marked as voltage gates, ligand gates, mechanical gates and sodium potassium pump. Now these gates, they are basically helping in conduction of ions across the plasma membrane. Voltage gates are those which are sensitive to voltage which is occurring in the plasma membrane. These gates, they open at specific voltage and they shut at specific voltage, and during that specific time period only they will be conducting the ions. They are of further two different types which are named as sodium channel and potassium channel. Whereas these gates, they are present on the receptors. They are called as ligand gates and mechanical gates. Ligand gates are those channels which open or shut depending upon the attachment of certain chemicals to them. These chemicals may be neurotransmitters or they may be certain hormones. Mechanical gates are those which are sensitive to change in temperature, some sound, some pressure change or length change in the case of muscle cells. The function of these gates is also to transport the ions. And third structure which is important, that is the sodium potassium pump, which is transporting 3 sodium ions toward the outer side and 2 potassium ions toward the inner side by utilizing ATP. So that means that here we have 3 different types of channels which are helping in transport of ions, that is sodium channel, potassium channel, sodium potassium pump and of course the ligand gates which are present on the receptors. We know that when there is certain change in the external or internal environment, then these gates, they are stimulated, and because of that ions, they move toward the inside of the cell or leave the cell. Because of that, potential difference across the membrane changes. At the resting stage, the potential difference across the membrane is minus 70 millivolt. That is the resting potential. But when ligand gate or mechanical gates are operating, then because of movement of ions toward the inner side or from inside to the outside, the potential difference across the membrane changes. And if this potential difference is up to the magnitude of minus 55 millivolt, then the neurons, they get stimulated or the neuron gets fired, and because of that nerve impulse is generated. Once the neuron are stimulated, then these voltage gates, they are functional. Similarly, we have to remember that mechanical gates and ligand gate, they also cause certain changes in the potential difference which are called as the graded potentials. But graded potentials, they are reset to the resting potential with the help of sodium potassium pump. When the neuron is fired, then sodium potassium pump is not capable of restoring the potential back to resting stage. So because of that, when threshold potential is exerted to the neuron, then it reaches up to the axon potential, and then due to depolarization and repolarization of the plasma membrane, the nerve comes back to the normal state, that is called as the resting stage. so that it can be fired again. So that means when we are studying this, then certain potentials they are very important to understand, because they will be regulating the generation and conduction of nerve impulse. Let us try to understand what are the differences between sodium channel and potassium channels. Sodium channels are those channels which are helping in transport of sodium ions from outer side to the inner side, and potassium channels are those which are transporting potassium ion from inside to the outside. Another difference is that sodium channels are more in number in the plasma membrane as compared to potassium channels. Another very significant difference between sodium channel and potassium channels is that sodium channels, they can be open or closed, and they can be activated or inactivated. For the sodium channel to conduct sodium ions through it, it has to be open as well as it has to be activated. So that means sodium channel will be conducting the ions only when it is active and open. If it is open but inactivated, then it will not be able to conduct the ion. Similarly, if it is closed, then also the ion cannot be conducted. If we look at this figure, then here we can see that the channel is open and there is no blockage. That means it is activated. Whereas in this figure, we see that the channel is open but it has been inactivated, or there is some blockage because of which it cannot conduct the ions. Whereas third stage shows that the channel is closed and it is activated. So we should remember now that sodium channel will be fully functional only when it is open and activated. Whereas in case of potassium channel, we see that it can be either open or closed. When it is open, then it will be conducting the ions, and when it is closed, then the ion cannot be transported through it. Now at this stage, we should be able to understand that what are the resting potential, threshold potential and action potential. Resting potential is the potential in the plasma membrane when the neuron is in the resting stage. It is minus 70 millivolt. That means that inside of the membrane is negatively charged and it is 70 millivolt more negatively charged as compared to the outer side. Outside is positively charged, inside is negatively charged. Because of this difference in the charge across the plasma membrane, the membrane is said to be polarized. That potential which exists in the resting cell is called as the resting potential, whereas threshold potential is that potential at which the neuron is fired. This potential is minus 55 millivolt. This potential may be achieved when the stimulus is received, and because of that, positively charged ions they move toward the inner side of the membrane. Because of that, there is some charge which is entering into the cell, and because of that, the potential it goes to minus 55 millivolt. At this stage, the neuron is fired. So what is threshold potential? It is that potential at which the neuron cell gets activated. And third is action potential, that is the maximum potential which can be present in the neuron. It can be up to plus 30 millivolt. That means that once the threshold potential is achieved, then the neuron it gets fired and potential reach up to plus 30 millivolt, that is the maximum potential present in the neuron. This potential is called as the action potential. Now we should also study that what is polarized. Polarized membrane means when there is difference in the charges on the outside and inside. During the process of conduction of nerve impulse, we will see that the membrane it gets depolarized, and due to depolarization the potential will go up to 0, and then it starts getting repolarized. That means the charges again start developing. So depolarization means when the charges they are getting neutralized and the potential difference across the membrane is reducing. And repolarization means when again the potential difference is increasing and the membrane is getting polarized. So, we will study in this part of the lesson that how the membrane gets polarized, how it gets depolarized and how it gets repolarized. Now, during this, what happens to the sodium channel? We remember that there are two channels, sodium channels for transport of sodium ions and potassium channel for the transport of potassium ion. Both the channels are very important when the potential difference across the membrane is to be maintained. In this graph, we have plotted time along the x-axis and membrane potential against the y-axis. So, here these 8 stages have been discussed which are related to the membrane potential. We will study that at this membrane potential, what is the state of membrane and what is the state of sodium channel. When the membrane is at resting potential, then state of membrane is polarized. And at this stage, sodium channels are closed and inactivated. They are closed means they cannot conduct ions through them, and it is inactivated too. But when the membrane potential it goes up to minus 55 millivolt, then the neuron is fired. Now, these 3 stages they have been shown here. The stage 1 states here that this is the membrane potential or the resting potential. And when the threshold potential is achieved, that is the potential goes to minus 55 millivolt, then the neuron is fired. In between there may be graded potential which have been shown by 2. If there is some graded potential, then it will be reset to the resting stage. But if the potential difference goes up to minus 55 millivolt, then the neuron gets fired, and that is why it is called as the threshold potential. So, what happens at the threshold potential? When the potential is at threshold potential, then the membrane starts getting depolarized. Why? Because sodium channels they open and they get activated. That means at 55 millivolt, sodium channels which were previously closed, now they become open, and previously they were inactivated, now they get activated. So, because of this, there will be lot of influx of sodium ion toward the inner side. Sodium ions are positively charged. Because of that, there is collection of positive charge on the inner side. Previously it was negatively charged, now because of influx of sodium ion, it is getting positively charged. So, a stage will reach where the membrane potential will become 0 across the membrane. That stage is called as fully depolarized membrane. So, here you see that when the potential becomes 0, then the membrane is fully depolarized. But sodium channels, they are very quick acting. So, by the time the potential difference is at 0, even by that time a lot of sodium has come in. Because of that, the potential difference it goes up to 30 millivolt, and now there is more of positive ion toward the inner side. So, because of that, the membrane it gets repolarized. Remember, at this stage the channels are open and activated, and because sodium channels are open and activated, that is why more and more sodium is coming inside. Now, in this stage, the polarity of the membrane it is reversed. Previously, it was positively charged outside, now it is positively charged inside. And ultimately, when the potential reaches up to 30 millivolt, that is the action potential, the sodium channels they are open and inactivated. That means that even when the channel is open, it will not be able to conduct the sodium ions. So, this happens at action potential. So, because of this, because the channel has been inactivated, it will not be able to transport any more of sodium ion towards inside. At this stage, another channel, that is the potassium channel, it becomes activated. Potassium channel, it will start reactivated at action potential, and because of that, potassium ions, they are transferred from inside of the membrane towards the outside. That means positively charged ions, they are moving out. Because of that, what will happen? Potential will start decreasing. This is the state which has been shown as 6. That means that action potential is the maximum potential, because as the potential reaches up to 30 millivolt, potassium channel gets activated, and because of that, the potential starts decreasing. Now here also there will be a stage reached when the potential will become 0. Potassium channels are also such kind of channels which are slow to react. So by this time, the potassium channel is open, more and more potassium ions are being transported out, and a stage will reach when the membrane gets repolarized. Repolarized means it develops the same polarity which it was having in the resting stage, that is getting negative toward inside, positive toward outside. And slowly and steadily the membrane gets fully repolarized and potential drops to minus 70 millivolt. So this is the stage here when the potential again becomes minus 70 millivolt. At this stage, what happens to the sodium channel? Now when the potential drops up to 70 millivolt, the sodium channels which were previously open, they get closed and they get reactivated. Now when they are reactivated, that means that they can be activated to transport the sodium ions, but because they are closed, they will not be able to do it. Potassium channel, they do not close at this potential, and they take some time for closing because they are slow to reacting to potential differences. So because of that, more potassium ion, they are transported out and potential drops up to minus 75 millivolt. That is called as the undershot and rebounding. Now when the potential drops to minus 75 millivolt, then this drop, it acts like a graded potential, and sodium potassium pump, it tries to restore it, and it is restored by the sodium potassium pump up to 70 millivolt. So this stage, when the plasma membrane is more negatively charged as compared to the resting stage, that state is called as hyperpolarization. At this stage, the sodium channels, they are closed, but they can be reactivated. Now in this we have to study another point, that when the channels are open but inactivated, if during that time period another stimulus is received, even then the sodium channel will not be able to react to it because they are already open. So the open channel cannot be further opened, but they are inactivated, so they cannot show any response to the stimulus. That means during this time period when the channel is open but inactivated, no more stimulus can be received by the nerve cell. But when the plasma membrane is hyperpolarized, then if a strong stimulus is received which can compensate for this drop in the potential and bring the neuron up to minus 55 millivolt, then that stimulus can be received by the neuron and neuron can be fired again. This time period during which neuron cannot respond to the stimulus is called as the refractory period. So it is further of two types, that is absolute refractory period and relative refractory period. Absolute refractory period is when channel is open but inactivated, because during that time whatever may be the strength of the stimulus, the neuron will not get fired. but when it is closed but it can be reactivated, then that time period is called as the relative refractory period, because during this time a very strong stimulus can refire the neuron. So this is how the potential difference is creating a difference in the opening and closing of sodium channel and hence the state of membrane. Let us try to revise what is the refractory period and time period when neuron cannot be refired. Refractory period is of two types: absolute refractory period and relative refractory period. Absolute refractory period is that during which the potential difference lies between plus 30 millivolt to minus 70 millivolt. This is the time period when neuron cannot receive any stimulus, because no action potential, even the strong stimulus, can create the opening of already open sodium channels. In this case, the sodium channels are inactive. But when we talk of relative refractory period, which exists when the potential is lesser than minus 70 millivolt, then if a supranormal stimulus, that means a stimulus which can elicit an action potential, because it is having more than threshold potential. So because some potential difference is to be compensated, when it has to compensate this drop in the potential. So if there is some stimulus which can compensate the drop in potential and take it from this lower potential to minus 55 millivolt, then it will be able to create the refiring of the neuron. Sodium channels become active again. Now they are ready to act again. So when the channels they are active, then they will be able to refire again. Now this is how the neuron, it fires and it comes back to its normal state so that it can be refired again. When neuron is at action potential, then what is the state of sodium channel and potassium channel? At the neuron, when it is at action potential, then sodium channels they become inactive, so they cannot further transport sodium ions, and potassium channels they are open and they are transporting positive ion toward the outer side, and they are responsible for repolarization of the membrane, and they are responsible for bringing down the potential difference drop to minus 70 millivolt. When neuron is at action potential, then what is happening? Sodium channels are becoming active. So when they are at resting potential, then the sodium channel become active. When the neuron is at action potential, then sodium channels are inactive. But potassium channel, because they are lesser in number and slower to act as compared to sodium channels, they also remain open, and because of this reason the potential drops to minus 75 to minus 90 millivolt. That is called as the hyperpolarization. So this is how the membrane potential is linked to opening and closing of sodium and potassium channel, or the vice versa.